Hello and welcome in to the men's edition of the Wildcat Weekly Coaches Report, here with head soccer coach, Coach Adam Howard. Coach, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Thank you very much for taking the time to join us. Now, looking at this last weekend, couple results don't go the Cats' way. Very tough matchups, too. You face number one PLU in that one, and then take on a Puget Sound team right above the Cats in the rankings, but about 10 points up in the standings. Now, you look at that first game against PLU, and things clearly from the get-go weren't going your way. What adjustments do you really want to take out of that one, or what did you see in that game that you really did not like?
Yeah, I thought there were really good moments in that game. I thought at the beginning we created some really good opportunities and just didn't capitalize on them. And then the first opportunity they had, they capitalized on it, and we just didn't quite recover after the second goal. Took us a little bit too long to get back into it. But I think we just live and learn from those experiences and have to take, like what were some of the good things we did in that game, and then what are some things we got to work on, and just keep working on those things.
And you guys showed some positives again against Puget Sound. That's, again, not an easy turnaround whatsoever. What positives can you pick out of that result? And then what can you do to change here coming against the schedule not getting any easier facing against Willamette? Yeah,
I thought the guys played really hard on Sunday against Puget Sound, and we know that that's going to be a physical test, playing against them because they're big and strong and physical, and they're a little bit more direct in their play. And I thought the guys, lived up to the challenge. We battled in the midfield, won a lot of 50-50 balls. It just came down to a couple of mistakes that we made, and they took advantage of those, and we had the opportunities late to come back and tie the thing, and just couldn't get over the top on those opportunities. So I think we just have to learn from that, take the battle, the challenge, and because they were physical, and Wilamette's going to be similar, where Wilamette's an athletic team, and they have some big, tall guys in the back, and we're going to have to match that similarly to what we did against Puget Sound.
So the one positive we can also kind of take away from these games is we did get to see a lot of younger guys get involved, continue to stay involved in the rotation. Obviously, we would like the results to go a little bit better, but have you been able to at least see some positives from your younger guys and have a lot of good teaching moments with them?
Oh, absolutely. And I think the biggest thing for them is getting game experience. And the more game experience they get, the more comfortable they are, the more confident they become. So I think, it's been able to allow them to have those moments. And the more games they get under the belt, the better it is. And we see that with our older guys who have played, now 40, 45 games in their college careers. They're able to approach the games a little differently and a little bit more confidently. So, I think getting those guys opportunities and getting them minutes has been huge, and we'll continue to do that.
So the other thing, too, is you talk about the adversity you guys face. I mean, we don't have to get specifically into the calls, but you see a red card go running Krzyzkowski's way, a couple of penalty kicks called, and just overall fouls. What do you preach to your guys in those moments? Because that'll happen in plenty of games. You'll have referees maybe you don't agree with, but what do you tell those guys so that they can move on and the next time that happens in another game, respond?
Yeah, I think, the message we talked to our guys about was that's when you learn the most, is when you deal with adversity and the character is completely revealed. And we knew that, a couple of those were questionable and they just didn't go our way. And unfortunately, that's not something we have control of. So we talked to our guys about, control the controllables. And one of those is how hard you play, and your effort and attitude on the field, and not worrying about the calls we get or don't get, and just having that next play mentality all the time. So I think those are difficult lessons to learn, and nobody enjoys going through those situations. But I think we just have to keep pushing on and next play mentality.
And Cats are right there in the middle of the pack. There is a little bit of a gap between 4 and then down to the rest. But clearly, with the schedule turning around, you're going to have a lot of chances to get back to these teams and try to get results that maybe you didn't get before. When you are talking to the team, what is your kind of point of emphasis when we're talking about the schedule turning back over?
Yeah, I think the key is we can't look too far ahead right now. We understand that we didn't do ourselves any favors last weekend by not getting any points, but we can't try to make that all up in one weekend, and we know that's not going to happen. So it just becomes, how do we do one game at a time? Come prepared for Willamette and try to get 3 points from that game, and then start moving our way up the standings through that method. Because I think if we try to go 9 points and we look at it like we got to get 9 points, it's just not going to happen. We got to get 3 points at a time and keep working at that.
So the Cats will be at Willamette in Salem on Saturday. Obviously, we're looking for a couple changes there, get the positive result. What is the biggest thing that you're preaching to your guys right now about that game on Saturday?
Yeah, we know it's the rivalry, and this has been something that our team and their team always show up for, and they've been great games the last couple of years. We just want to make sure that we show up and come ready and prepared, fully prepared, and making sure that we're game day ready. And so the guys have been really focused this week. We had a really good training session yesterday. Need to have 3 more of those to get ourselves ready, because we've got a lot to go over, because Wilamette's a very good soccer team, and we know that they'll be desperate to win at home, and we just got to come ready to play.
Well, we'll be excited for that one. Cats will be on the road this weekend in Salem before coming back at home a week from this weekend, taking on PLU and Puget Sound. Coach, thank you very much for taking the time to join us. We had Alex Ponce, your assistant, in here last week, so hopefully with you back here in this chair, we can get a change of results.
Absolutely. I appreciate that. Thanks a lot.